Now, it seems the number of real estate companies in Lagos is increasing every day. You know, there are just so many of them. So many estates, so many estate companies, so many estate developers. Every nook and cranny of Lagos right now, you're going to see a banner. So estates, so estate company. So different names, different estate companies. So it's becoming more apparent and more obvious that if you really want to buy a property here in Lagos these days, you are no longer going to be dealing with an omonile or a family or a community. You actually be dealing with an estate company. Now, although the estate companies have successfully taken over the role of selling properties, selling land, selling houses from families, omoniles, and communities, but it seems they didn't only take up the role or take up the responsibility of selling property, they have also fully take up the role in terms of also creating a bigger problem and also a bigger menace to people that are buying properties from them. So in this episode of Meet the Property Guy, we'll be looking at some of the absurd terms, clauses and conditions by real estate companies here in Lagos, so that you can be aware of each of these very absurd terms, each of these very absurd clauses, and you can know also how to prepare yourself against them. Now, in case you are coming across a video like this for the first time, this is Meet the Property Guy Property Channel, and this is where we discuss everything real estate. Either you want to buy, invest, or sell a property here in Nigeria, we share tips, guides, and advice, our honest opinions, facts, analysis about the markets, what to look out for, what to avoid if you are buying a property here in Nigeria or in Lagos precisely. So after watching this particular video, this particular episode, and this is your first time, seeing my video, you can also watch our previous videos, our previous episodes. There are just so many topics already that I've covered. That you want to invest, you want to buy, you know, about title documents, about risk, about return on investment. There are just a lot I've shared already, which you are going to learn more about. So let's look at the absurd clauses, the absurd terms by real estate companies here in Lagos, and how you can also prepare yourself against some of these clauses. Now, the first one is the problem with allocation. I find it annoying and extremely frustrating, but real estate companies here in Lagos don't seem to really give a damn or to really care about investors or people buying properties from them. You know, when you sell a land and after paying for the land, an investor or a property buyer still have to pay for legal fees, still have to pay for survey fees, still have to pay for development levy, that's infrastructure fees, and you still find it difficult to even still give them their land. It's really annoying and very frustrating. Some of these companies are only going to allocate properties twice a year. For a property that you are selling all around the year, you are only going to allocate twice. Or even after paying all these fees, all these lengthy fees, you are still going to wait 3 months, 4 months, or even 5 months before they are going to allocate your land for you. It's just very frustrating and very annoying. And the usual excuse they give about these delays in allocation is they blame the rainy season, that it's because it's raining, that's why they can't allocate, or they complain that they can't grade the estate yet because Caterpillar cannot come into the location, or the Caterpillar broke down, and that's why they have not been able to grade, and that's why they have not been allocated. Come on, this estate is yours, is your land, is your estate. It's going to cost you guys nothing to send a surveyor there to map out different plots and call clients to come and get their physical allocation of the property that they paid for. But unfortunately, most real estate companies here in Lagos are going to spend months delaying giving people their allocation, which is very absurd and which is very annoying. So if you are buying from an estate company, if you like yourself, ask the realtor, ask the company, when am I going to be allocated after paying these other fees? How do you guys do your allocation? Is it monthly allocation? Is it every 3-month allocation, so that you just not disturb yourself and just not lose sleep over something that is just very. Now, the second absurd clause or absurd term I find very ridiculous from estate companies here in Lagos is their default clauses or their default charges. Now, if you are buying a property as the property buyer, you stand more to lose in that transaction than the property sellers. So that's why I find it a bit ridiculous that is the estate company, which are the ones selling the property, that are the one preparing the contract of sale. So in the contract of sale already, most of the clauses that are in there favors them who are the sellers than you who is a buyer, even when you are the one that have more to lose because you are the one paying. And I don't know why most lawyers are not really fighting this, because most contract of sales are supposed to be prepared by you, which is the property buyer, because you are the one that stand more to lose. But again, lawyers are not talking, so I'm not a lawyer, so I shouldn't be talking so much about that. So now, the default clauses about most of these contracts of sale from real estate companies are not going to favor you. First, know that they are always going to charge you an interest or a default charge if you miss from your payment schedule. You tell them you want to pay in maybe 6 months or 3 months, you miss a month, they will give you interest. Sharp is not going to take long. They will give you, is there. They will put that default clause there. But you won't see it on that contract of sale, any clause that will talk about if the company defaults. Okay, I finished payment for my land, and then you guys don't give me a land, what will happen? His mouth, they will use to say it, they won't put it there. Okay, I finished payment for the house, but you guys have not finished the interiors, you have not finished the painting, what will happen? It's letter they will send to you, but they won't put any clause there in the contract of sale talking about any charges or any penalties if they are the one that defaults on that transaction. But they're expecting different clauses to knock you different default charges if you miss any payments. Now, another clause I find very absurd, another term I find very absurd about estate companies are their infrastructure levies. You know, when realtors are promoting and selling this estate, you hear this estate is going to come with amenities like a perimeter fencing, a nice gatehouse, drainages, a transformer, a children's playground. You know, they just mention all those beautiful things, and then you are only like inside this bush. Just visit the Bejuleki, take a tour to Bejuleki, you know, just take a tour to Bejuleki and Ekpe, and you see several estates lined up along the road, you know, some with beautiful gatehouse, some with abandoned gatehouse. You see the wall that they painted is already fading and nothing is happening there. Apart from the gatehouse, even you should even be glad even if they finish that gatehouse and paint it. But once you get into the estate, nothing. And some of those estates have been sold out 12 months ago, some 2 years ago, even some 3 years ago, they have been sold out. And they collected development levy from people. Where is the transformer that they promised? Where is the electric poles that they promised? Where is the children's playground that they promised? Where is the drainages that they promised? Nothing. Yet, they are going to include it in their clauses that you must pay this development levy before they are going to allocate you your land. Now, development levy is not bad. You know, there are some certain estates, particularly around Songotedo, Ibamadesonya also, Ogombo axis, down to maybe Eleko, you know, place where you can buy and build. Development levy makes sense in those kind of estates, because as they are allocating you your land, you want to build, you want to stay there, or you want to rent it out. So development levy applies, because if those developments are not there, you can't stay, and if those developments are not there, you can also rent it out. But for estates that you are buying to invest, everybody is buying to keep. Even the estate, the company that are selling, they want to sell and forget. Why are you guys still charging development levy on something that you are not going to do? Apart from the gatehouse, you are not going to put this transformer, you're not going to put any electrical pole, you are not going to do any drainage, but they'll still collect that money from you. It's just totally absurd, you know, the development levy. For what? What for? Now, another absurd clause by estate companies are their refund policies. Honestly, that is a very big headache. You see, when I say some of these things, some people feel like, are you a lawyer or are you a surveyor? I'm not a surveyor, I'm not a lawyer. I sell properties, I deal with these companies too, one-on-one. So when I share experiences, when I share tips and guides about some of these properties, some of these locations, is because these places I've been to personally. These also things that I've experienced personally from different investors I've sold for, different companies that I've sold for. So I've been in different type situations with different investors and as well as different estate companies. So I'm very, very aware and experienced about how these things happen. Refund policies by estate companies is just set up to frustrate you. Just know that. So just pray that you don't get to that stage of, okay, I want to collect my money back, because just forget it, it's a big drama. Now for most of them, their refund policy is they're going to deduct some fees or some charges from what you have paid, regardless of whether you are applying for refund because of their default or because of their faults. They're going to come up with that term in their letter or their response that based on the contract of sale that we issued with you, we said we are going to remove 30% or even 40% for administrative charges, forgetting the fact that the amount that they want to pay you back, maybe you pay them 10 million and you want to get that 10 million back. This 10 million you paid them 6 months ago or 9 months ago. They have already turned over the money into a property that they have sold out. They have turned your 10 million into maybe 15 million or 14 million or even 18 million. Now to even give you back your 10 million, they still want to remove another 40% from it when they even made more from you already. You see, those ones that even tell you that they want to give you your money back and remove some certain administrative fee that are still a bit nice. Some will even put it in that clause that you can't collect your money back as long as you have paid. Forget it. If you want your money back, go and find someone that will come and take up that property, you know, and then that person can continue from where you stop. So the refund policies for estates and estate companies are very, very absurd and very, very annoying. So if you want to collect your money back, just be willing to fight battle. That's just it when it comes to refund policies. Last but not the least, most absurd clauses and terms I've found from these estate companies is, okay, you bought the property, you bought the land, and you paid the legal fee, survey fee, infrastructure levy. They give you allocation after maybe a lot of bus. They give you allocation finally, and now the land is yours. They're still going to put a clause there that even in the future, you want to sell this property, so amount will be charged by the estate company for change of ownership. Change of ownership for what? What's your own change of ownership? After you have given me deed of assignment to show that I'm the new owner of this property, you are still telling me that I'm still going to give you so amount when I sell for change of ownership. What's your own with change of ownership? And a lot of these estate companies put this clause there, and I find it very, very laughable and very, very ridiculous. So they are not even going to charge amount. They will charge a percentage. That okay, they are going to charge 2.5% or 2% of what the amount you sell the property as. What's your business with change of ownership? What there should be after is that, okay, if you sell this property, bring the new owner to our office so that we know that this is the new person we'll be addressing to. Simple. But no, that's going to be including a clause tying you down and tying themselves to a share of your profits if you sell that property in the future. Is that not absurd? All right, so those are just the different clauses. Those are just the different terms. You see all these things that I'm saying, and I'm smiling, I'm laughing. Honestly, they are very, very big issues. When a lot of these issues come up with investors, between investors and the companies, between investors and the consultants, between investors and the realtors, these simple things can ruin relationships. It can become very, very serious battles. And I don't know why a lot of these estate companies are not reviewing these policies, they are not reviewing these clauses and making adjustments. Basically why I feel this is like this, because there is no guideline, there's no regulatory body, and it's not, everybody can just do as they like, act as they like, and these things have just been like this for a while. The refund, the default charges or the default clauses, the infrastructure levy when you are not going to do anything. We both know you are not going to do anything. You understand? And the allocation clauses, I buy a property from you, I collect deed of assignment, and I still have to give you something when I sell it. All these things are absurd. They don't make any sense. But again, this is Nigeria, and then these are how these estate companies have been operating so far. So if you've have or had any experience regarding any of these clauses in terms of you want to get your money back and they show you fire, or you are still fighting battle to collect allocation of your land. So you can share your experience in the comments. You can share your experience in the comments. I really want to hear your experience, want to hear from you. There are even still some that me myself I'm still facing for some of my investors. So it's just like a common scenario of things that we face with these companies almost every now and then. So as even number one property guy on the planet, your property advisor, your property consultant, Rabi Mustafa, thanks again for watching this video. Thanks again for watching this episode. And if you have learned a lot, if you have really learned a lot, kindly give us a thumb like. I like the thumb likes. Give us a thumb like because it shows that you are really appreciating what we are doing, and which really means a lot to me. So give us a thumb like and also share this video with your friends. Thanks again, and see you soon. See you next time.